everyone, it's your girl Regina with the Travel Savvy Hub, and I'm here with another cabin tour of cabin 5140, which is an Oceanview stateroom on board the Norwegian Luna. So to kick us off with this room tour, I'm going to actually start here near the door. When you walk into the cabin, you will see kind of a little entry coat shoe rack type situation. You can think of it almost like a cabin mudroom, like what you would have in a house. You also have your safety instructions as well as your thermostat, your do not disturb, your makeup room. This is pretty similar on the other Prima class ships. And on this ship, you do need to have your card entered into the slot in order for the electricity to work. In here, the closet is broken up into two parts. So this side here, the light does automatically come on. You have some storage there, along with another shelf and these little baskets that you can store things in. You have two of those. And so then if you close this, you do have the full length mirror here. So when you look at the full length mirror, you might forget or not realize that this actually is another door that opens. So don't be confused by that. If you open up the other side, more hanging storage there, as well as your safe here. Let's see. The safe is not very deep, so that's as far as my hand can reach. So it's not that deep, so you might struggle to put a laptop in there, but a tablet should be okay. And then again, you have two other drawers or baskets that you can store items in. And while we're over here, we can go into the bathroom area, but you see here, the cabin is equipped with many hooks, which is great. Of course, if you ever are sailing and you want more, you can bring magnetic hooks, but here they do a good job of providing you with a decent number of hooks. So let's go into the bathroom. All right, inside the bathroom, it's a pretty standard bathroom. I think the size looks pretty reasonable, I'd say, for a cabin bathroom. You have your shelving there and here. You have your under sink storage as well, in case you need that. Then of course you have to have your vanity, which is lit. Kind of rectangular-ish. You do have a couple of shelving units for you to put your essentials, as well as a footrest for shaving. And you do have the clothesline in here for you to hang any wet items. So yeah, I think the size of this feels just like it did on Aqua. So, well actually, no, like it felt on Prima, because in Aqua, I was actually in a studio, but on Prima, I was in a balcony, so it reminds me of that size. Now over here at the desk area, another couple of shelves. Here's your phone with your lighting and outlet there. Here is where your cooler, I don't like to really call it a refrigerator because to me it doesn't get as cold as a refrigerator. One thing to point out is that if you take anything out of this refrigerator, you will have to pay for it. So even if you do have a beverage package, I would recommend getting your drinks from the bar. That way they will be included in your package and you won't have to pay anything extra. So here's just some literature. This is the Freestyle Daily, which is the bulletin that you'll get every day that tells you all the different activities and what the highlights are for the itinerary for that day. And then here is another little drawer you can use, and they do have a blow dryer stored right underneath the desk, as well as a little cushion for you to use if you want to sit here, and this is lit. You can light the vanity, which is helpful if you're doing makeup or hair, things like that. And then here you do have an international outlet. You have a USB-C and a USB. So you have ample outlets. Then you have other drawers here next to the bed. They're pretty good size, pretty deep. So you have some space there. There's a lot of under bed space too. So if you ever feel like your luggage is too big to put in the closet, you can always store it under here. So they have really good under bed space. Then you have a seating area here where you can sit and relax. This is an interesting lighting. Interesting lighting next to the bed. I'm guessing it's just so you can turn it over toward the sofa or toward the bed. I have not seen this on Norwegian before, so that's different. Another outlet, and you have light and a moon sign. So I guess this is probably how you turn on and off the lights from the bed, which you just saw right there. There is lighting above and below that you can turn off as well. Then of course you have your television there, and the signature piece of the room is the window. It's a large porthole size. It's pretty big, and so it definitely gives you enough to really get a good view of what's happening out there in the ocean. So it's lovely and has a little ledge here. I'm not really sure why we have this. Like, there's no storage in it, and it kind of, maybe they just needed it for the engineering of the space, but it is a little odd. But I mean, I know when you have these types of portholes, that's part of the design, is that they kind of sit in a little bit, but that's nice. And then over here you have another little light here that also has a USB-C and a USB-A plug on the bottom, with some shelving as well. So one side has drawers and one side has shelves. And so there you have it, folks. This is the tour of cabin 5140, which is an Oceanview cabin on the Norwegian Luna. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe and share. And for more tips, just continue to stay tuned. And until the next time, continue to stay savvy.